What rests before you is the sum total of anguish he endured during his battle with
the CMA.
If you truly wish to take his place, then you must accept and inflict his agony upon yourself. Why don't you have a taste?
You know, I woke up this morning and I couldn't help but notice, gee, these Twitter streets sure are empty. I don't see any PlayStation fanboys in the ghetto alleys. Where the f is everyone?
How to know when it's time for a mental health day.
What's going on? The second coming of Jesus already happened? I mean, I wasn't expecting to go, but I don't see any clothes on the street, so I'm wondering again, what happened? Well, just like Sony who runs away from competition, it would seem PlayStation fanboys run away from accountability of what they said. The fact I couldn't find J-Dub anywhere on my timeline was kind of concerning. I don't want him offing himself too early before Starfield even released. Come on, J-Dub, be a man. Save your exit of life until the end of the year. You'd figure with the confidence these ponies display, they'd have nothing to worry about because Spider-Man 2's right around the corner. But none of them are talking about Spider-Man. None of them are talking about the next big PlayStation exclusive. None of them are talking about the next big Sony event. None of them are even talking about the PSVR 2, and that just came out. Each and every single one of them for a full year was talking about the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Because like I've said before, although ponies do like Sony, they simply hate Xbox way more.
I mean, I love Jim Ryan, but I hate Phil Spencer more. I just don't want to have to put up with that prick for the rest of my life.
They don't want to see the Xbox brand do good whatsoever. I guess all those horrible rap songs they wrote about how much Xbox sucks and the deal shouldn't go through didn't work.
Xbox is the worst platform ever created. Xbox is the only console I have traded. That's the truth, you probably think I hate it. No, I hate the people that's behind the brand and the fan.
The nigga will lie. The nigga will make excuses. He will use words he don't really know. If he gets really desperate, he may start to rap.
I guess pleading to the president of the United States didn't work. And don't even get me started on that pathetic group of gamers that also try to stop the merger, cause they got one-shotted harder than Kaido one-shotted Luffy. Now, while I did see Xbox fanboys highly invested in this going through, I saw far more PlayStation fanboys invested in it not going through. So it's starting to make sense why I haven't seen any of them on Twitter today. Very few had the balls to stay logged in upon hearing today's news. UK regulator sides with Microsoft over Call of Duty on PlayStation concerns. The transaction will not result in a substantial lessening of competition in relation to console gaming in the UK. Martin Coleman, chair of the independent panel of experts conducting this investigation, said provisional findings are a key aspect of the merger process and are explicitly designed to give the businesses involved and any interested third parties the chance to respond with new evidence before we make a final decision. Having considered the additional evidence provided, we have now provisionally concluded that the merger will not result in a substantial lessening of competition in console gaming services because the cost to Microsoft of withholding Call of Duty from PlayStation would outweigh any gains from taking such action. Our provisional view is that this raises concerns in the cloud gaming market is not affected by today's announcement. Our investigation remains on course for completion by the end of April. Yay, April! That's around my birthday time. Great, so you mean to tell me you assholes are gonna make me work on my birthday? Thanks, Xbox! Thanks, CMA! Thanks, Sony! I can't have one day off, huh? Well, anyways, I don't know why it took the CMA so goddamn long to figure out what the average consumer already knew. We all knew there was far too much money in COD to take it off PlayStation. Hell, the dude who sells me Molly that doesn't even play video games that much already knew this. Like I said before, the CMA was just making sure people don't feel like they're wasting their tax dollars. If they didn't launch a proper investigation, I'd actually be a lot more concerned. concerned, because an acquisition of this magnitude should absolutely be investigated. No disagreement. But all they found out is what I already knew without having to be a part of their board. And that was that buying out Call of Duty was never going to significantly cripple Sony in any sort of way. Call of Duty has simply been their fallback to third-party game for over a decade now. It's been their excuse not to amp up their multiplayer games for a long time. We all knew that the minute Sony could no longer rely on Call of Duty, they'd have to get up off their asses. But the thing about companies like Sony is they want their business to continue flowing as is because it's easy, it's very secure. Get a few marketing exclusivity deals with COD and your console's gonna fly off the shelf. But if COD has a new owner, how are you gonna do that? Oh, you can't. Not anymore. Just because they lost the home court advantage doesn't mean they're completely out of the game. Hell, not even close. If Microsoft never purchased Activision, if Microsoft never purchased Bethesda, Sony to this day would still be trying to secure exclusivity contracts with them. Sony is by no means an underdog who has to prevail in all of this. I was shocked for a while to see that nobody found it odd that the #1 gaming company would go out of their way to try and stop last place Microsoft. Sony's resources went into trying to stop this merger and not their first-party lineup for 2023. Because, I mean, let's face it, Sony has far more third-party exclusivity than first-party right now. And if we're being 100% honest with ourselves, they're also the best exclusives they have. But at long last, we can finally put this tired argument to rest. Will Microsoft purchasing Activision lessen competition significantly? No. Well, I mean, according to the CMA anyway.
Not a fan of the CMA's conclusion when it comes to Activision deal. The same logic of why would they not release COD on PlayStation since they lose a lot of money can be applied to Starfield. Why not release Starfield on PlayStation at $70 or get it on Game Pass? They made it exclusive anyway. Either way, it's still open and the final decision is still out there, but at least this is seemingly coming to an end. Honestly, I hope this pushes Sony back to factions too hard.
We are doing just fine. You almost look like you believe that.
And just like that, the PlayStation fanboys have now made an enemy out of the CMA after spending months kissing their asses. After weeks upon weeks of agreeing with them on everything against Xbox, now all of a sudden the CMA doesn't know what they're doing. You know, it's funny because not once does this retard ever think to himself, hey, this argument can be used on Sony too. Why isn't Sony putting Spider-Man 2 on Xbox? Wouldn't they make way more money? Wouldn't they lose out money by making it only on PlayStation? Holy shit, look at these guys. They don't want Xbox to have exclusive content. They don't even try to hide it. And if they do, they're simply too incompetent. A 3-year-old would be better at playing hide and seek than these guys are at hiding their emotions. If we apply this logic to anything, then no one can have exclusives, and I highly doubt a PlayStation fanboy would want to live in that world. My god, and after all of them said they have ultra powerful $5,000 gaming PCs, they don't need an Xbox, they're still on their knees asking for all those games to be on the PS5. Why?
Finally, Call of Duty will die.
No, you're a little faggot.
Oh, poor Kieran, it has not been a good week on the Twitters for him. I'll give him this, he's brave for deciding to log on today, even though he's catching nothing but L's, and Jim Ryan semen on the tip of his tongue. So now we want Call of Duty to die. Now we want it to be recognized as a horrendous franchise. I mean, just think about it. Microsoft still doesn't own them. All the CMA said was they found that this purchase won't harm competition, and now the ponies want Call of Duty to die.
I'm just happy we are coming to an end with this Activision Microsoft acquisition talk. It feels like it's been 10 years. Finally, we can talk about other shit.
Oh, shut up, you fat f***. Who are you trying to convince? Your analytics absolutely thrive off of this talk. Nobody wants to hear this fat piece of shit down and talk about video games. We all tune into the Salt King to harass him. This acquisition going through and the news finally coming to an end is going to probably be the death of your channel. Why would you want that? You were thriving off of feeding copium to your audience, telling them it's not gonna happen. Don't worry, guys. Hell, just a day ago, you had a 3-hour stream dedicated to it. Stop.
This is a terrible decision. A dark day for the industry. It's comparable to Trump winning the election. I guess I won't buy another Activision game
I mean, technically he's not wrong. It is a lot like Trump winning, because when Trump won, there was insane amounts of copium and salt. I mean, just think about it for a second. The only thing keeping these guys playing Call of Duty is Microsoft not owning the IP. Yet you didn't see Xbox people leaving Destiny the minute Sony owned it. What did Microsoft do to these guys again? I mean, it's never been explained to me what the company did to make it so that these people are so vitriolic they don't even want to hand a penny over. Oh, just shut your mouth. We'll see you next Call of Duty. You're just like the people who said they were gonna boycott Activision Blizzard. How long did that last?
Microsoft has won. They're going to be able to buy Activision Blizzard for $69 billion.
Oh, it's the main event, everybody. Dreamcast guy! I'm not gonna lie, I'm a salty bitch. I've been working my ass off and I can't even get the 200,000+ subs that Dreamcast guy has. I didn't know you could be so successful being so wrong all the time. Cause what is it that the Dreamcast guy said a few weeks ago about the Activision Blizzard merger?
So it looks like the $69 billion Activision Blizzard deal is about to be blocked. I mean, this is a
99% chance
that the conclusion of this is not going to be good for Microsoft.
Oh boy, 99% chance! It's not gonna happen, guys! Hey, let's just talk out of my ass like I usually do. I don't even know how he convinced himself of such a high percentage. You really thought there was only a 1% chance the CMA was gonna agree with Microsoft? I don't even understand how you came to that conclusion. You can tell Dreamcast guy hangs around too many PlayStation fanboys, because they're the only ones I can think of that were that confident. I mean, don't get me wrong, of course Dreamcast guy has confidence. I mean, to show a face that looks like that to the public eye takes quite a bit of confidence. But when it comes to any sort of points or arguments he has, you can tell all of them were handpicked from the comment section, and none of it is actually formed in his head. But now that actual information and statements have been released, how does Dreamcast guy feel about it?
Team PlayStation, for all their pushback, for all their complaints, it looks like Sony is taking an L that they really didn't want to take. But
I'll be real with you, Dreamcast guy, it's a far bigger L for you to take than Sony. And if there's anything I've learned about you when it comes to taking the L, is you refuse to do it. Not even Sony was as confident as Dreamcast guy was about this merger not going through. You can't sit there and make such a bold claim and then act like you didn't say it. But then again, that's what 99% of your content is anyway. Let's also not pretend like Dreamcast guy wasn't more invested in this acquisition failing than succeeding. You can tell this news is devastating him inside. The cope is strong. How am I coping? I own an Xbox and a PS5. I will play good games anywhere. Good for Microsoft for finishing such a massive deal. You know, tweets like this really make me worry about Dreamcast guy's cognitive decline. Is it really hard for him to remember what he said? Simply go watch that video where Dreamcast guy was so sure of himself that the Activision Blizzard merger was about to get blocked. And the energy is so different from what we're getting in this video. Dude was speaking like he had all the facts.
Article late. In response to Microsoft's suggestion that Sony just make COD alternative in 10 years, here's a comprehensive dismantling of that bold expression of dismissal, exposing the majority of that.
What? An article? These people are now writing full-length articles on Twitter? Are you kidding me? You're out of your mind if you think I'm reading that. Why do ponies put all of their energy into Twitter and don't even bother making a video? I mean, at least this other fat had the balls to make a video.
What's up, YouTube? I'm sad, man.
I'm so fat and gross.
Oh.
I should just kill myself.
Oh, that's... Come on.
I'm sad.
You see, now that's the type of energy I want you to have when you step on a weight scale, Rome, or when you're looking at your glucose monitor. Now that's the type of that should be getting a grown-ass man sad. Watching your lifespan shorten should bring you to tears, not Call of Duty being pulled off PlayStation in 10 years from now. Because with the amount of cheeseburgers you're gobbling down, we don't know if you'll be here in 10 years, so it's not that big of a deal. And my God, are you really wearing the same sweater you wore a month ago when you thought the CMA blocked the Activision merger and you were celebrating?
That's nasty.
Oh my god, that is disgusting. That musty ass sweater full of fat oils and sweat. He's got that thing drenched with gamer fluids. It's hilarious because you guys have absolutely no idea how many of these ponies went back to delete their tweets or how many blocked me the minute this was announced. That happens quite often. They're always on the lookout for Daddy Frick because they scared of me. And I'm only doing this with the pitiful 58,000 subs. I wonder what I could do if I reach 60,000 subs. Face it, you're curious too. You want to see how much destruction I can cause by gaining a few more subs, don't you? Sadly, I'm gonna have to cut this video short, which isn't like me. Well, that's because I have bigger fish to fry. We still got MBG's Meltdown, which he deleted, but luckily I downloaded because the ponies lost their minds when they found out Redfall was canned for the PS5. 2023 is simply not the year for the ponies. We're already off to a bad start with Forspoken and with Xbox having the higher rated game of the month, with the Activision deal going through, with Starfield releasing. The PlayStation fanboy spirits have been broken. All I wanted was for them to be humbled a little. I didn't think it was gonna be this much of a massacre, but if you're invested to see this all the way to the end, then stick by. And with that being said, I'll see all of you bitches in the next one.
If I knew that I didn't wait on this story, for Tango Plays would have made a video roasting me for about 30 minutes.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah,